Good afternoon, YouTube. My name is Ben Du, and today is 2020, April 10th. Today we are going to continue to see the semi-trailer, and you can see we are going to see the drop side semi-trailer, and sometimes people call it side fence. Last time we have seen the flatbed. To aid another structure on the flatbed, which is side wall and the bulkhead, we get the drop side semi-trailer. Here is a drawing, a picture, to show the component of each of the drop side semi-trailer. Here is front wall, here is side wall, because it is be able to open when you need it. Some people call it drop side, and people also call it side fence. This is a stand post. A stand post holds the side wall in the middle, so the wall can be dropped and closed. And this one is side marker lamp, and this one is rear bumper. Here, this one and the front one, we call it corner stand post, which is different than the side stand post. Side stand post only hold one side. Corner stand post hold two side structure. This is a mud guard to prevent the mud. Axle, tire, rim E004. This one is toolbox, and this one is a side fence. Here is the landing gear again. A rope hook, same as the platform as we were seeing last time. Air coupler, 7-pin socket for the electricity, air coupler for the braking air. And it also optional to have a retractable container twist lock. Here is they have a more structure on the side wall. You have a different type of the drop side. Here is a higher side wall. This is it usually looks like. We have more pictures to show you. Like this one. This one is two type of the drop side for your information, and this one is being waxed because the wax would protect the seawater to rust during the transportation. That's why we wax it before we deliver it. And this one is a gooseneck drop side. A gooseneck flatbed and drop side is built for the different prime mover to make sure they will work together as one. Here we have more pictures. This one is white with a higher side wall. This one is orange color. The side wall is about 600 millimeter. Let me change the color. The height of the wall is about 600 millimeter. We are building this type of trailer a lot every year for different purpose, different color, with different height of the sidewall and the bulkhead. Almost all the country is using this type of trailer for many different purposes. This one is red and it looks a little bit different, but it's actually same. This one is a white color in the front and blue color in the rear, yellow color. Yellow is the most popular color in this type of product because it is easy to recognize. This one is blue color. Blue is also a very common color. And you can see we built this trailer for our Russian client, and we have shipped it to them for many years. It served them well. The gray color. And this is our new designed drop side for China domestic market. We use the black color and the red color to make sure it is more recognizable on the road. You would see a lot of it in China. Here's more pictures. Because in China, many drivers want to operate the landing gear one more time after they receive it. So we use a very weak landing gear just for the license purpose. After the semi-trailer hooked with the prime mover, they would never separate it. That means they would never use those landing gears again. I should never. Okay, this is a PSI system. It is charging the air to the tire automatically. Here is the toolbox for Chinese drivers to store the wood and the tools inside of it. This is a canvas bucket in the front of the bulkhead. This is also a detachable bulkhead. It is built in purpose to shipped by container or assemble them together. This is the sign. Here is the mudguard. You can see the height here is 600 millimeter. There are a lot of pictures. I didn't choose all of them, just some of them for you to recognize what is a drop side and what is a side fence semi-trailer. Now here is some picture in China, how they operate and how they use the drop side. In this picture, you will see they put the canvas on top of the trailer and they use some ropes to make sure the cargo inside has been fastened. They tie those in those cable fastener and rope hook. And this vehicle, you can see it's very long. It's very long from here to here. It's about, I guess, 16 millimeter. This is a close view at the rear. This is another way they use the drop side to carry the cargo. We can easily see the sign in the product inside is stone, a rock. It's pretty heavy, and you can see the beam here is a little bit curved from here, a little bit curved at here. That's why you need to build your trailer very strong. Here is the front. This one is the water pipe. This is a seal. This is a tire. This is how they operate it in China. And I also prepared some drawing for you. This one you can easily see it's a 3-axle drop side, and the side wall here is 800 millimeter, and it also has container twist lock. It could carry a 20-foot container here or a 20-foot container here. If you need it, it can also carry a 40-foot container like this position. Here is the 2-axle drop side. Here is also one 3-axle drop side. Different is the side fence height is 1 millimeter, 1000 millimeter is 1 meter. Here is a 4-axle drop side. We put air suspension in the first axle, so the first axle can be lifted when it's needed off to the ground. Then it is actually 3-axle when it's empty, but when it's loaded a lot of cargo inside, you can put the first wheel down, and then it would be the 4-axle drop side to carry more cargo with more payload. I also chose a 4-trailer, a drop side 4-trailer. Drop side drop side 4-trailer. Which is different than the semi-trailer. The difference we can see is quite obvious from here. It's here. We have no kingpin for the 4-trailer. It's just a turning table. A turntable would turn left and turn right when you need it. So it's a 20-foot 4-trailer. Because most of a 4-trailer would be longer, and the length is less than the normal semi-trailer. Because when you're carrying it, it is quite dangerous if they have any big gap problem. I mean, when you have your truck in the front and your 4-trailer in the rear, and then when something happened, it would come to the front like moving, very dangerous to the road. Okay, we have seen all the drawings, and next we are going to see the project we have built for the other countries. This one is pretty common. We built for China market. We also built it for Cuba. Here, this one we built for Cuba. Very beautiful. And Sinotruk get the order from the Cuba government, and then they place the order to our factory. We built a lot of semi-trailer for different prime mover factory in China. It requires a pretty good quality for the overseas market because we want to build a good reputation of Chinese product. It looks very strong, and it looks very beautiful. We can see many details from here. This is a kingpin for the drop side. This is a kingpin and landing gear. Here is a close picture of the air coupler. And this is a close picture of the 7-pin socket. Here is, you can see Here is a picture. You can see the detachable bulkhead. You can remove it when you deliver it. This is how we assemble the electricity line. The spare tire at the bottom, a landing gear picture. This is a one-side operation landing gear. So it is all. This one is always in the roadside. When it's parking on the road, the driver can operate in the roadside, not the vehicle side. It is more safe. The bolt we are using is a self-fasten bolt. The nylon here would fasten the bolt itself. This is more stronger. This is how the structure looks like, and the license plate we built. This is a rear bumper for the forklift push and for the car crushing protection. Here is the braking chamber on the axle, the emergency braking valve, a leaf spring. Leaf spring, this one is quite important because most of the factory would forgot this part. The leaf spring would move to this direction all the time, and then it will moves back. It will moves back. Then, if you don't have this busher here, it will consume the bolt here very fast. Very fast. I will show you more pictures in later videos if we do some spare parts of the suspension. This is the equalizer, bulkhead, a detachable bulkhead. You can see the bolt we are using is totally different. It looks shiny because it's chroma. It is against the rust quite well, and it is retouchable. You can move the front bulkhead for the delivery. Then you can assemble it together when it arrives. Here is a close picture for the boat. This is a lock for the drop side. This is the protection when the drop side moves down. Here, this one would protect the drop side damage, the side beam of the trailer itself. This is a picture of the drop side twist lock for containers. Here is one picture of the frame at the bottom. You might notice the trailer is yellow color. The trailer is yellow, but the frame is black. Because most of the time we would make the frame after the side beam as black color, same as the small trailer, same as the small car, and same as the prime mover. This is the welding seam in our factory. We don't weld it from here to here because if you weld it like this, it would curve later when the welding getting cold. That's why we weld it in different section. So leave a gap here to make sure after the welding the kimping plate is still very straight. Most engineer would understand this. Here is more picture of the boat, and this one is the hinge of the side wall. We don't use the normal hinge, such as many parts, like have parts like here, and then parts like here. Put a pin here, and then a nut, a pin. It has about 10 pieces. spare parts. It is very easy to lose when it arrives to the destination. That's why we use the cast steel base and cast steel hinge. You can remove this side wall in 1 second. No kidding, it's really in 1 second. Let me see if I could find a video for you. Yeah, we have a video. You can see our driver is removing it 1 second. And then they put it back in 1 second. I will show you more stuff to show you more pictures to show you why this type of design is much better. Here is the rear bumper and the light, and this one is the cable to release the air reserve tank for the braking, because the air reserve tank usually have a lot of waste water and garbage. The driver usually need to get under the chassis, move it. Then if you have this, you can just ask the driver to pull it every day. Every driver will do it instead of the getting under the trailer. It's quite dangerous. Okay. We also build a lot of trailers for different countries, like Nigeria. This is the trailer we have built for Nigeria, hundreds of it. So, like Ethiopia. Ethiopia also bought a lot of this same type of drop side from us, and also Russia. Russia is also buy a lot of it from us. Vietnam is the biggest buyer back to the year 2015, I guess. In Zimbabwe also built them trailer. It looks exactly the same like China. Also, we built the trailer for East Timor. East Timor, they bought a lot of trailers from us. They have a lot of mountain road, and they need short length trailer. That's how we built this for them. In Rwanda, also we built those type of product for China market with different purpose. Senegal also buy a lot of drop side from us. The parts, we also have a lot of different parts for the drop side. We are going to go through them one by one later in different videos. You can see each of those trailers would need not one kind of parts to finish. It has many different small parts. Like this one is side wall, how we check the quality of the side wall, and many other small gestures, parts. The lock for the drop side if you need it, and twist the lock in the deck. This is how it looks like inside. And the hinge, this one is what I was talking about. It has many parts. For the exporting product, we should not use this type of the hinge. It has many pieces. First, you need to remove the pin in the middle, and then you need to remove the small pin here, and then you need to have a bolt on it, and then put a washer. Very easy to lose any of them during the transportation or the assembly. This is a normal hinge and rubber to protect. Here's the problem. If you use a normal hinge for the different payload, it would easily broken. That's why we use the cast steel hinge. This is the cast steel hinge we have discovered. It's very easy to remove and assemble. Here. The normal hinge for China market is okay. For the bigger drop side, you need to reinforce inside, otherwise it is going to be collapsed. Okay, this would be all the parts we are looking. Packing, I have choose an example for you specially. This is we have assembled for our client with our mechanic together. And first we move to there, and then we unload the trailer from the delivery, and then we get all the parts around the trailer, and we check all the numbers for the different trailers, and the landing gears, the mud guard, side fence, all with numbers. And then we put the stand post to the trailer first, and then we put the side wall with the number on it, and then it would merge to become one. Then we put the canvas bone to the top, and then we finish the job and put the spare tire carrier and check every braking line and put the front stairs, the ladder, and fasten all the bolt and nuts, and then we grease it. That's the last step you need to do, because the grease is very cheap. If you do that, your trailer would have a longer service life. If you don't do that, your trailer would be easily broken. This is a greasing device. You can use this to put the grease inside of those type of grease nipple. Or you can use this. It's more easier to do that. All right, I think it is all for today. That's things you can see for the drop side. It's not all, but just to give you a rough picture what a drop side and what's side fence semi-trailer it looks like. Okay guys, I hope to see you next time.